Hello, Jim,
How are you
and
doing,
everybody
sir?
out there. Doing good. Well, terrible. Anyways, we'll
Yeah.
get into it.
Yeah, we won't get into it.
Today's show, four money lies from the State of the Union. Jim's going to tell us about. A trans activist says kids have the right to mutilate their bodies.
Yep,
We'll go
saw
into some
that.
of that. West Point revises their mission statement. The West Point revises their mission statement. And a White House official's alleged bullying and sexual harassment can
Mm,
be that, Jim.
no.
And no, and so much more on what what's it called?
It is
What do
called
we
Two Guys, One Coup.
love? The enthusiasm.
Welcome to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim, where the truth matters and progressives' feelings don't. We bring you the facts from the perspective of two average, everyday guys who will never apologize for being America first, for adhering to our great Constitution, and for saluting the flag that our brothers and sisters have fought and died for. And now, here's Dale and Jim.
Love the
have to
enthusiasm,
because
Jim. I needed to pick me up today.
all the books I'm reading is depressing the hell out of me. So I gotta try to be
You,
happy.
you got to do something,
Yeah.
Jim. I gotta start this show by saying you probably by this point should have heard part one of the interview with Gregory Stenstrom and Leah Hoops, who co-authored a book, Parallel Election. It's about the 2020 election fraud. They have won a case in Delaware,
Yep.
Pennsylvania, proving election fraud
One
happened.
case.
Won a case. It's very, very important. For some reason, the audio is, and I can post that, and I probably will. And by the time you hear this, maybe everything will be worked out and the interview's up and running. But
Yeah.
for some reason, Rumble and YouTube are just slow rolling the upload on this thing.
Well,
And I've tried it multiple times. I've been trying for 24 hours to upload it.
they could be going for an update. I mean, we don't know because sometimes it happens.
Things like this
Sometimes
have
it
happened
doesn't.
in the past, but
Yeah.
there's clearly wording in the description of that interview that probably sets off some
Especially
keywords.
for YouTube.
Well, I
Yeah.
put it on there because sometimes it'll come up. It'll take a little bit for them to bring it down, but I can upload it to YouTube, download it from there, and then upload it to Rumble, and it goes immediately.
Mhm.
So sometimes I do a workaround that way. Anyways, it's not happening this time. So hopefully, fingers crossed, because you got to hear that interview. If not, then I will just post the audio. You'll have to go to Buzzsprout or Apple or Spotify or anywhere. Just click on the link on our Facebook page and it will take you right to it.
And I'm going to make you happy.
But you're going
Folks,
to make me
you
happy.
need to like, follow, and share.
Thank
This
you.
one, if you've never liked, followed, and share any episodes, do these two. Because all these individuals out there that say, oh, it didn't happen, or it wasn't that big a deal, or this and that. Like, follow, and share. You have to. It's just.
You have to. This happened one county in one state and was proven that it happened.
Yep.
And Greg is a forensic analyst. He's military background. This is what he does. Anyways, you'll hear it all.
Yeah,
I apologize that it's not up yet.
And the thing that was
been having
impressive,
some crazy computer issues.
The thing that people need to pay attention to, and that was not impressive to me, but kind of holy shit, that makes sense. This started in 2016 after President Trump upset Hillary Clinton. This happened. George Soros started putting his DAs in these counties where it's the whole thing, folks.
The whole thing has been pre-planned, and we know it, and it confirms everybody's suspicion that there was fraud in the 2020 election.
And for everybody who believed,
we knew it, but
for everyone who believed there was, and it's great and fine. Trust me, you're going to find out some things that you did not know about. How deep this went, how far this went, because the whole uniparty term wasn't just Democrats, folks.
Nope, certainly wasn't. It certainly wasn't. We're going to go into a little bit about some Republicans today too, Jim. Again, we need an America First party just to start an America First
almost
party. Third
we
party.
need to. I think the third party we could win.
I think so too. Folks, don't forget about our friends at Warrior Shield. Foundation, please go to warriorshield.org. Don't forget about them. They are there connecting warriors to the families with the assistance they deserve and require. They do service dogs, wheelchairs, counseling, scholarships, team building retreats. Folks, what they do is they just help veterans. It's a small 501c3 organization, and a true one, not like BLM. And they truly help vets. So please go to there. Don't forget about signing up for their Warrior Weekend in September, between September 6th through the 8th in Orlando, Florida. Two Guys One Coup crew will be there on site. Join us there. Meet Jim live. Anyways,
if you want to, I mean, that's up to you.
Who wouldn't? It'll be nice. Yeah.
Some of those people who
be great.
do the videos on TikTok may not want to meet me.
Well, speaking of
or
TikTok,
they may scratch
we'll
my
get
eyes
in a
out.
minute.
One or the other.
Yeah, we'll get to that TikTok in a minute. But there's a concert, there's a dinner, there's a benefit, there's donations, there's also after parties, cocktail parties, and you stay at a beautiful resort, the Rosen Center down in Orlando. They've got great room rates for this weekend booked and blocked off for those going to this event. So please go do that. Don't forget about Grit Gear Apparel. They are our new friends, and they've got amazing patriotic gear, headgear, men's, women's, t-shirts, hoodies, you name it. Wristbands, leather stuff. They've got Lock and Load coffee is also, so they have their own brand of coffee that you can get both ground and pods if you got a K or Keurig out there. So don't forget about Greek Care as well, and don't forget about what Jim is wearing too. Our wonderful Freedom Ring Apparel folks. Yep. So these are two. If you're looking for clothing, like patriotic clothing with two good causes, you've got Grit Gear, you've got Freedom Ring Apparel. Yep. Those are the two. Honestly, you should focus on if that's what you want. I know there's Grunt Style. I was a Grunt Style guy. We talked about this. I literally found out a lot of stuff about Grunt Style that no longer makes me want to support them. And I don't have to, because I've got Grit Gear and I've got Freedom Ring Apparel out there, so go and take care of those folks. Cause they're taking care of us and veterans and first responders and those that need help out there. So please do it. Please put your money there. Yep. Jim, let's get into a couple things real quick if we can. Speaking of TikTok, they're voting. There's a vote today in the House to ban TikTok. I don't know how you feel about that. I could care less. Yeah, I couldn't care less. I guess if it goes away, it goes away. To me, it's not that big a deal. But I understand the reasoning for it. And I understand how it's being controlled and the algorithm and the reach it's having to minors and all sorts of stuff. Something else will just replace it. So I mean, this will be a constant battle. I just think there's bigger battles out there, like taking care of our vets, like protecting our borders, like making sure that inflation goes down. I just think there's bigger battles than TikTok. So it is what it is.
It's based. They're doing it because it's China based, right? The company in the United States is owned by
the Dems make some good points.
Well, here's my take on it. Mm-hmm. We know China is definitely involved in the fentanyl trade.
We do.
And you read Blood Money, you'll find out it's deeper than what you ever thought about.
Correct.
And they also supply this little piece of equipment that you can put on your firearm to make it automatic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. They produce those. Yeah. Send those in. Maybe we should work on banning that first, because to me, that's more important than the TikTok. Our kids' minds are mushed anyway from school. Sorry, no offense, but they are. They're completely mushed. TikTok's not going to make it much different. All right. So I don't necessarily disagree with the path they're taking. I think this should be. I think fentanyl is a much more serious thing that China is doing.
I agree.
And we need to battle that first. And by the way, real quick, any politician that does not, when they talk about fentanyl and they do not bring up, we have to punish China for this. What any politician that does not say punish China has some ties with money coming from China. And
what politician does say it, Jim?
Well, there's a lot of I know there's a lot of Republican that say it.
Well, there's one specifically who pretty much has got the nomination now, and that's
President
Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He says it all the time.
Now, we have a lot of good conservative senators and congressmen that always bring that up. Fentanyl, and it's China.
Yep.
But the ones who don't are the Gavin Newsoms, Adam Schiffs,
and that's the point. That's a great point, Jim, and you bring it up. And it's the fentanyl crisis, but then we want to ban TikTok because it's China based.
Yep.
But have you gone to a Walmart?
Yep.
Have you gone to? I honestly, have you bought a car that's got chips in it? Or I mean, is there? So what I'm saying is that you either cut off all of China, or you just don't pick and choose. And I think TikTok was probably the least to me of the ones you pick and choose from.
Right.
Right. So I'm not a proponent of it. I get a lot of videos from it. I understand that. That's what it is. What it is. They ban us. They take down our videos. So I don't give a crap. But what I'm saying is that there's just bigger issues, fentanyl being one of them. And then, in between TikTok and fentanyl, there's a whole shitload of other issues. You know what I mean?
And Kellyanne
that could have been addressed.
Kellyanne Conway said it best. Okay. When she came out and she said, don't do this. This isn't the one we need to do. Banning TikTok is not the most important thing. And she showed a poll. Majority of Americans, Republicans and Democrats, don't think it needs to be banned. The app being banned, and even President Trump is backing off that a bit, because he makes a great point. You ban TikTok, you take TikTok out. That makes Zuckerberg more powerful because Facebook becomes bigger. So there's things here, folks. I mean, I get it. You wear clothing. It's a lot of more than likely it's going to be made in China or somewhere like that, except for Grit Gear and Freedom Ring Apparel.
And Grit Gear. Yep, but made right here in the United States.
There's more important things, and it's fentanyl. In my opinion, right now, to me, the fentanyl is the biggest thing, and it has to do with
the number one issue.
It's the border.
I agree.
So anyway,
Jim, I'm going to go on with a couple videos. One I want to talk about because it happened. I want to say it's Monday, but Special Counsel Robert Hur, he was the special counsel assigned to investigate Biden document scandal that apparently is no scandal.
There isn't any.
No, there isn't any. But he went in front of Congress, and there was an exchange between Jim Jordan and special counsel Robert Hur. I'm going to play that video for us. It's a few minutes long, but we're just going to let it play out, and then we'll talk about it here. Give me one. Oh, and I apologize to those that didn't get to hear the trans video last episode. I don't know why the sound didn't come through, but at any rate,
but if you watched it, you were able to see it. Yeah, you saw. You could pretty much guess what's
happening. Yeah. But anyways, all right. So here's Jim Jordan questioning special counsel Robert Hur.
Mr. Hur, why'd he do it?
I think.
Why did Joe Biden, in your words, willfully retain and disclose classified materials? I mean, he knew the law. Been in office like 50 years. 5 decades in the United States Senate, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, 8 years as vice president. He got briefed every day as vice president. He's been in the Situation Room. In fact, he knew the rules because you said so on page 226. President Biden was deeply familiar with the measures taken to safeguard classified documents. And Joe Biden told us he knew the rules. Mr. Armstrong said this earlier. Joe Biden was deeply familiar with it. You're exactly right, because he told us when Jack Smith goes after President Trump, Joe Biden says, how could this happen? What data was in those documents that could compromise sources and methods? It's irresponsible. So Joe Biden knew the rules. He knew the rules. And Joe Biden told us he knew the rules. So, Mr. Hur, why did he break them?
Congressman, the conclusion as to exactly why the president did what he did is not one that we explicitly address in the report. The report explains my decision to the Attorney General that no criminal charges were warranted in this manner.
I think you did tell us. I think you told us, Mr. Hur. Page 231, you said this. President Biden had strong motivations. That's a key word. We're getting to motive now. President Biden had strong motivations to ignore the proper procedures for safeguarding the classified information in his notebooks. Why did he have strong motivations? Because, next word, because he decided months before leaving office to write a book. To write a book. That was his motive. He knew the rules. He broke them because he was writing a book. And you further say, and he began meeting with the ghostwriter while he was still vice president. There's the motive. Mr. Herr, how much did President Biden get paid for his book?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure if that information appears in the report.
It sure does. There's a dollar amount in there. Remember?
I love
I
him.
don't. It may be $8 million if
$8
that's accurate.
million. Joe Biden had 8 million reasons to break the rules. Took classified information and shared it with the guy who was writing the book. That's why he did. He knew the rules, but he broke them for $8 million in a book advance. But you know what?
Wow.
It wasn't just the money. Joe Biden, here's this page 231, very next page. Joe Biden, in your report, Joe Biden viewed his notebooks as an irreplaceable, contemporaneous record of the most important moments of his vice presidency. He'd written this all down for the book, for the $8 million. And the next thing you say in your report is, quote, such a record would buttress his legacy as a world leader. You know what this is? It wasn't just the money. It wasn't just $8 million. It was also his ego. Pride and money is why he knowingly violated the rules. The oldest motives in the book, pride and money. You agree with that, Mr. Herr? You wrote it in your report.
That language, and it does appear in the report, and we did identify evidence supporting those assessments.
I know. There's nothing to see here, though.
Nothing to see here. Well, let's raid Mar-a-Lago, right? Let's bring criminal charges against President Trump for having documents because he was president,
Right.
not because years and years of documents because he was in the Senate. You can't take that shit out of there. You can't even take it when you're vice president.
Because even Pence had some, right? Remember? We
Yep,
had all that.
correct.
Pence had some as vice president. Folks, whether you like President Trump or not, okay, should a president give documents back when they're asked to give documents back? Okay. But why punish one president that all the other presidents before him did? Why is this special?
Right.
Why is this? Well, we know why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim,
So
we know why.
Yeah.
We know why, because he's not bought and paid for from China.
Yep.
He's not beholden to lobbyists. He's none of those things.
And we
that
did the
can't
story
control
about
him.
Obama. Look at all the documents he has in a storage warehouse
In Chicago.
outside of
sitting
Chicago.
there.
Right.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, I wanted to play that because that is just telling.
Isn't it amazing? He goes, you said right here on page, I love.
Yeah, I love it too. Well, you should know. And then he asked them, how much did he get paid for this book? Well, I don't know if it's in my report.
Yeah, $8 million.
You wrote the report, bro. And
then Nadler, did you see what he did?
I didn't see what
he had
Nadler
to
did.
change it over, and he brought it back to Trump. He brought it back to Trump. He did not.
Did he? Good for Nadler.
He ignored the whole Biden stuff and went back to Trump. It's
of course he did, the big fat ass.
Yeah.
Of course he did. And that's not body shaming. He's clearly a fat ass.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Look, I can call him a fat ass. It's okay. Actually, he's a troll. I mean,
he's a troll. He's some sort of goon troll.
He's an evil-looking dude, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. He looks like the penguin from the original. Yeah. I'm talking Danny
Have you ever watched
penguin.
Lord of the Rings?
Jim, I haven't.
Well, he looks like a troll. Or not a troll, but he looks like a dwarf. Watch some of the sets and you tell me if he does not.
Okay. If that's not Jerry Nadler playing the role. Jim, I wanted to play that because that's just absolutely awesome. I want to go into a couple other quick videos.
Are we bullying again? I think we're bullying.
Jesus.
Damn it. We got to stop.
Here we go. Yeah, that's right. We got some more. I mean, again, in celebration of Women's Month, we got more trans stuff.
That's right.
That we're going to keep playing here.
And then we can talk about the new word we have to learn.
Yeah, I really want you to do that because I literally let me look here. Which one do I want to play, Jim? What do you want to see first? Okay. Well, you know how we did the female or male to female surgery, that graphic of
oh no.
I've got male to female. I mean, I thought it's only fair
Uh,
that we won't that we can look at that to
Yeah.
see. I think it was just fair to show the other side. We want to be, we're equal opportunity trans activists,
We're fair and
you and I.
balanced.
Yes. So I want to make sure that we show this. So here is this is how, if you're a biological female and you want a wiener, this is kind of the step-by-step process in, more like a CAD model description of
Real
how
quick.
you do it.
Can't they just cut the
Mhm.
penis off the guy and give it to the woman?
I mean, I would, the cash I think we could make if we just like, okay, we're just going to flip-flop you.
Yeah.
You're getting his penis, and you're getting
then-
her vagina.
And then just
that's a
get the
good call.
quarter-inch drill bit and
What do they do with it after they cut it off? They just kind of toss it, or is it
tuck it in.
get
You
your
saw
corn
it.
dogs?
You saw it, the
Get your
video.
corn dogs here.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's watch this one, Jim. It's interesting. There's some, here you go. There's your wiener. Well, that's the fake wiener.
Yeah. Take it from there.
Mhm. Cut it from the forearm. Nice. Oh, good. Get rid of everything. Love the music. And
I like the music.
I know, me too. And there it is. It's part of it. What's happening? Jim. Titanium testicles. Who doesn't want those?
Boy, they will
Who doesn't
never
want
know how it
balls
feels
of
to get
steel?
kicked in the balls.
Yeah. Who doesn't want balls? So far, it looks real, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Moving it. What's sticking out? Is that
I don't know, but I don't have
fuse?
one of those.
Is it a fuse? What is that? Moving on. We're gonna finish it. I don't know what it looks. I'm not blowing out that candle. That's all I'm saying.
Unintended.
Yeah, let's here we go. More skin from the forearm, wrapped around radial flap. Oh boy! Wow. Finally, hormones. After all that, finally,
Is there
hormones.
feeling? Is what I'd like to know.
Of course.
I don't know
of course.
how
I'm
there
sure
can
there
be
is.
feeling. Orgasm. I
don't know.
I don't see it. Anyway. And I'm not going to look and I'm not going to research it. So don't even ask.
Gotcha. Please.
So if somebody wants to come on the show
Mhm.
and tell us how the feel is and everything else, we will have you on.
We welcome it. We welcome
Yeah.
a professional's opinion on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's feeling. I don't that thing even into this nothing looked real.
No.
Jim, it's one of these moments where I'm like, I wish I could see one. It's just like I want to I need Jim, you can Google this for me and just see do some research for me is all I'm
Okay.
saying. I'm moving
All
on
right.
from it, but
All right.
we got we have more tucking tips if you want to look into that. I mean, it's from our good friend that you didn't hear last time, so it's kind of similar, but I want to play it because I found this interesting near the end. Okay, so you recognize Joe, our friend Joe.
We should try have Joe on.
Welcome to Tucking Tips
like
with
to.
Violet. Tucking is the act of hiding
Joe.
or disguising male genitalia by taking your testes and tucking them inside your body and taking your member and tucking it backwards in between your legs. And while the look of it can be very gender euphoric, it doesn't mean it's not uncomfortable. So it's important to take breaks, especially if you're new to tucking. Listen to your body and never sleep with your tuck in. And while tucking can be uncomfortable, it should not be painful.
Stop. Sorry. Listen to your body.
Which they ignore. Anyway.
painful. So if your tuck is
God.
causing you pain, take it out, take a break, and come back to it once your body is settled. One of the best ways to avoid this in the first place is to make sure you're using the right materials, which is why we recommend our tuck kit,
Our tuck kit.
Yeah.
Jim, how do they have products? We don't have a sponsor. We don't have. What is going on here?
See, this is
Dude's
all
got
for
his
money.
own products.
This is all for money. This has nothing to do with bringing the transgender movement. It's a joke. It's a farce.
Jim,
Anyway,
how did we not come up with a tuck kit? I mean, my God, how did $1 billion idea gone to waste now? Holy smacks! Let's look at this thing. It looks super comfortable. There's one other thing I want to point out too. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
the adhesive.
Okay, first of all, listen to your bodies. Your body is telling you, I produce testosterone naturally. What the hell are you doing to me? Anyway.
What is the shape of this thing? Where's I'm assuming this part, and my cursor's on it, and Jim can't see it, but I'm assuming the extended part is where the
the member
weenie sits, and then the rest is kind of where you pull it right back between the butt cheeks. Let's finish, please.
It's stretchy and breathable, plus shaped perfectly to hold everything in place, and it comes with a little cotton pad to make sure you're not putting sticky stuff right on your genitals. So tuck safely out there, folks.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's important to tuck safely.
Yeah,
I do appreciate that. I'm not trying to bully this person. That seems like the safest option.
If you want to keep from having it be painful, don't do it.
Just don't.
Because I got news for you,
Jim. If you could tonight, if you could.
He's wearing his dinner gown or his evening out gown. He's dancing around and he's got it tucked. There's a guy that maybe had a little bit too much to drink is like, wow, this woman's hot.
This is what I'm saying.
I guarantee you, when you get into privacy, that tucking thing becomes a problem. I'm just going to tell you. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Depends how much
you have to drink. But what I'm saying is that it's false advertising.
Yep.
You know, it's it should be against the law.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't brand something and say I guarantee it does this, and then it doesn't, and I don't get sued for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't brand that you're a woman and not be. That should be against the law to me. I don't know. Thanks, Joe, for another update on tucking. You got your own product. I'm pissed. I don't understand.
I know. That was actually, yeah,
it freaked me out. That's what when I was watching, I'm like, oh, it's not much about that. We know. Hey, listen, we're experts on tucking now.
We
Joe,
can make tuck pads and we can put super glue on them. I wouldn't really make it to where they're tucked.
Gorilla glue. I should get together with Gorilla Glue and see if we can make tuck pads and say, listen, there's got to be another product that can be, maybe instead of tuck pads, we could do like an adhesive type wiener for those who haven't gone through. I know they got like the strap-ons and all the other stuff, but it seems bulky under their tight little panties. I would think we would want to we can maybe develop a product that's more silicone-y like and skin forming that will actually show. I bet it's out there. I haven't researched.
Work on that.
Jim,
I'll get the prototype done.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Real quick, a couple headlines and on to you. Kansas judge rules keeping biological sex on IDs does not harm transgender people. Thank you, Kansas, for making that. Our trusted friend at the FBI, Christopher Wray, says very dangerous threats at the border, smuggling network of ISIS ties.
Really?
No kidding. Really? Thanks, Chris.
Really?
Yeah, really. I wonder who's in charge of all of that.
Yeah.
That's a headline. Is there any other headlines I want to go over before we move on? No, Jim, it's all about you now.
Well, real quick, I learned a new term, gynosexual.
Oh, yes. Gynosexual.
Gyno sexual.
Like gynecologist, sexual.
Now, I'm not reading the exact definition. Okay.
Why?
But it is an individual who is attracted to a woman, someone who thinks they're a woman, someone who looks like a woman. Okay. So, just to let you know, if you're male,
gynosexual.
You're heterosexual.
Correct.
If you're a female and you're attracted to that, you're bisexual or you're a lesbian. Done. So gynosexual, the gynosexual is you're attracted to basically
you're
anybody
just-
who shows feminine qualities. So you and your shoes,
anybody.
if I'm
Yeah.
attracted to you, I am gynosexual.
With my shoes?
Yeah, because you
Do you
have.
think my shoes are gynosexual?
But you're feminine. You're kind of feminine.
I'm showing you right now. Hey dudes.
Oh, I've got
Wearing
Dudes
hey
on.
dudes.
I have Hey Dudes on too.
Yeah, that's right, you gynosexual.
So anyway,
You're gynophobic.
So
is what you are.
honestly, listen to what I'm saying, folks. It is if you are attracted to a person who is a woman, looks
Yes,
like a woman, thinks
yes.
they're a woman,
Mhm.
or has female in tendencies, right? So
Mhm.
again, if you're male, that is heterosexual.
Well, that's
if
right,
you're a
because all those
female,
descriptions are of females.
That is lesbian. Real quick. I mean, there, done. Don't need
I don't know.
gynosexual.
I don't know any other term for it. Yes, correct.
And then, of course, then they show, pansexual. It's like, no, I'm still.
No, I'm not. I
Get
don't
out of here.
understand
I
Peter
think that's
pansexual.
basically bisexual, I think. Anyway.
Pansexual is bisexual. Non-binary is ignorant. I mean, there's all sorts of terms for
Anyway,
this.
but moving on to that, our favorite governor.
Governor Gavin Newsom, I'm going to say.
Well, no, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Oh, so our true favorite governor.
On top of what you
One
did
of our
with
true
Kansas.
favorite governor. Yep.
Arkansas drops X from driver's licenses and IDs. State won't endorse nonsense.
Thank you. That's just the perfect way to. And I bet she said it that way.
Okay.
State will not endorse nonsense.
Now, it did. That's what she said it.
She's the best. Mm-hmm.
I need to. We like to give Democrats a hard time because let's face it, it's fun. So there's 14 Democrats that joined the GOP in a resolution to condemn Biden on the border. You heard that correctly. 14 Dems joined Republicans.
They're up for re-election, those 14?
Well, more than likely, but this is the second time they voted with Republicans on a. Okay, so it's not, we'll just see where it goes. But
the first time was right before the midterms. Anyways, go on.
It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is maybe there's hope. Anyway.
Maybe. Who are they? The 14 Dems? Where are they from?
Cuellar. I think that's it. Democrat from Texas.
Yeah.
He launched the advisory group called Democrats for Border Security. Okay. So he was one of the 14. The other ones are Yadira Caraveo, Democrat, Colorado. Angie Craig, Democrat, Minnesota. Queller. Sharice Davids, Democrat, Kansas. Don Davis from North Carolina. Jared Golden, Maine. Stephen Horsford, Nevada. Greg Landsman, Ohio. Susie Lee, Nevada. Jared Moskowitz, Florida. Frank Mervin, Indiana. Mary Peltola, Alaska. Marie Glusenkamp Perez, Washington, and Eric Sorensen, Illinois. So those are the 14 that joined to condemn Biden.
They're congressmen. They're House
congressmen.
representatives.
Senators would do that.
Yeah,
Schumer would kill them.
Yeah.
Now, Dale, you mentioned something.
I did? What?
After the State of the Union, you would like to see a poll.
Yes.
Did you see the poll?
And so I did.
Okay.
I saw it, but go ahead and tell everyone.
So, folks,
I did see it. Yep. Finally.
In one of very rare occasion, he went down.
He went down.
After the poll.
He went down.
Went down. In the week prior to just Thursday's State of the Union, Biden's approval rating was 39%, disapproval was 56%, 17 points underwater.
Wow.
A Harris X Forbes poll of 2017 registered surveyed after Thursday's State of the Union speech between March 8th and 10th shows the following. Biden's approval rating 37%. It went down 2 points, and disapproval rating of 58% went up 2 points. He is now 21 points underwater, a difference of 4 after the State of the Union.
After he's went up there
Biden's
screaming.
disastrous State of the Union address cost Old Yeller. By the way, I got to give credit. This is
Old Yeller. Who wrote this?
Opinion. This is John Nolte. Old Yeller, 4 net points in his approval rating. Looks like the corporate media's gaslighting isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
So before the State of the Union, here's how the 2024 election looked. Trump, 46%, Biden, 4%. 4 point lead for
4.
Trump. Post State of the
4%.
Union, Trump stayed at 46%. Biden went down 41%. So now he's plus 5.
Yep. Wow.
Pre-State of
Wow.
the Union versus leaners. They weren't quite sure
Mhm.
one way or the other, which I don't know how you could still
Who
have
are these
leaners.
people?
But anyway,
These are the gynosexuals. Go on.
this actually never changed. Trump was in the lead at 52 to Biden's 48. Same thing happened after. So no change there. Now, a 5-way race, pre-State of the Union, Trump had 40%, Biden 36%. That's 4% ahead. Robert Kennedy Jr. had 11.
Mhm.
So Biden went down 1, Kennedy Jr. went up 1. So they must have said, you know what, this guy's crazy. We're going to go here to this crazy guy, but less crazy than this guy.
Less crazy.
So, but now President Trump again is up 6 points.
Wow.
So if you go on down the line, that it's all he went down. Nothing came up from that standpoint.
On a State of the Union. Never happened.
State of the Union that
never happened.
So
because it was so
eloquently
divisive.
put
It was a stump speech, like
never
you said.
happens.
Yep. Never happens. And it was, like you'd mentioned, a stump speech, and he literally was screaming. And, I mean, he was like a bitter old senile man.
And this is going to shock you, Dale, and I know it is going to shock you immensely. There was a poll done of Democrats.
There was a poll of what?
Democrats.
The
majority of Democrats oppose certification of a 2024 election if Donald Trump wins.
Oh.
Didn't they just announce an insurrection?
If he wins, will there be some insurrection?
I'm just telling you.
Is that not inciting? Is that not starting to incite a riot of some sort, some coup?
And that group actually does the riots, but anyway.
Well, yeah. Wow, that was shocking news.
And the last thing, the one that really pisses you and I off to no end, never Trump Republicans to spend millions on ads in effort to turn voters against Trump.
I want their names.
There are some names, and I'll read you what some of them says. And surprise, surprise, guess what the biggest reason they don't trust him? January 6th.
Yep, threat to our democracy, Jim.
Yep. Now, but some of the quotes from Beth living in Virginia, January 6th for me was kind of like a sucker punch. Investigate it, Beth. Chuck, Nebraska.
Read.
This was an insurrection, and it was led by Donald Trump. Again, Chuck, what I just said about Beth, maybe you two should get together and look at what really happened. Anyway,
these are not Republic. Well, they're rhinos.
They say they voted for Trump the first time. Okay.
First time?
Yeah, but they're not voting for him anymore.
You mean the second time or the first time?
January 6th was the end of Donald Trump for me.
Oh, boy.
David in Wisconsin, January 6th. Dennis in Kansas. He wants authoritarian. He wants to be an authoritarian leader in the United States, like the guy is now. Anyway, Hank in Tennessee, he has no moral character. You name me one president that did. Somebody needs to do it. I need to find out.
Tell me what president has moral character. Yeah. I mean, I say he has more than any of them.
Me too.
You know.
Yeah, but you got to stop listening to what the media tells you about him and really look at what is really going on. Anyway, folks, this is a very dangerous thing, okay? Because now they don't come out and say vote for Biden. That's not what they're saying, okay? So what I'm saying to them, vote for Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, vote for them. Vote for Robert Kennedy. Yep. Jim, let me read you this real quick because this will sum up exactly how these people, and I think all liberals think at this point, and I got this off Instagram from somebody called Major Repentance. That's their name on Instagram. It says, we live in a society where homosexuals lecture us on morals, transvestites lecture us on human biology, baby killers lecture us on human rights, and socialists lecture us on economics. That pretty much sums up.
Wow.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it all up.
You know, that's actually easy when you think about it, but damn, that's pretty...
That's pretty good.
Nailed it right there.
Nailed it right there.
That should be our saying on the top of every show we do.
I should. I ask for permission. I mean, it's not mine, but I'll ask. Jim, do you want to get into these 4 money lies from the State of the Union address?
Please keep in mind, these are 4 money lies. He said more lies during the State of the Union, but this is only regarding the money. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Now, this is from Ted Jenkins from Fox News. It's an opinion piece, but he's not wrong. Okay.
Okay.
So,
opinions can be right, just not Democrats.
what the heck happened? Oh,
Did you lose it, Jim?
on. Damn it.
Do I need to move on?
Nope.
Do mine first?
Just go ahead and keep talking about whatever you want to talk about.
What do you want me to talk about? I'm kind of at a stall. I threw it right over to you.
I know.
I
but
did
the
what I was
problem is,
supposed to do.
It does this thing on Fox where you have to enter. Just bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm
Jim,
so sorry.
I
folks.
literally, the segue was perfect.
I know.
Threw it to you.
And I should have started
and
the other.
now, Jim. And
Well,
then
what
this is
happens
we
that
get.
they sometimes, just to let you know, that they do this where you have to log in and they have to approve it and so on and so forth. And
they do every now and then. I don't know what that's all about, but
and this is important too. God bless it. I need to have. Oh, it's not coming through.
Oh, Jesus, Jim. Jesus God Almighty.
Okay.
This is as bad as this is as bad as me, I mean, I'm usually this guy.
Well, basically what it's doing is it's talking about how he's talking about how his Bidenomics is doing much better for the country. And man, this is bothering
Jim,
me.
do you want me to read it? I have it right here.
Do you really?
Yep.
I can go
You could
out
say
to
this
Fox
much for
and get
President
it.
Biden's State of the Union address Thursday night. If you paid close attention, get ready for 4 more years of tax and spend policy. I'm reading it right here, Jim.
Let me do that.
And I wasn't even one of my start. Like I didn't even pop it up.
Just give me a minute, will you? You're bothering me.
Jim, I don't want to bother you. I could talk about this real quick. Our good friends at Grit Gear.
Yes.
Don't forget about them, please. Warrior Shield Foundation. I can't tell you enough how you need to support them. So you'll hear it and you're going to continue hearing it and you're never going to stop hearing it. This is a good organization that you need to support. And now on to Jim and his video playing in the background.
Is it really?
Yeah. Can you close that video out, Jim? Can you? Because why can't we get Jim? I hear videos.
Do you really?
Jim, why is there so much video?
Is it done? Yeah.
No.
Huh?
Jeez. No, I hear it.
Video.
It's playing in the background somewhere, Jim.
Oh my God, this is bad. I am so sorry, folks. I don't know how it's possible.
Let me see here real quick. I'm going to do something for you because I think I honestly think you're one of the best human beings I've ever known.
Is it done now?
You want to go into your last story first and then go into
This is really bad.
No. The video's still playing in the background.
It's not playing, right? How is it still playing?
No, Jim, when I'm telling you the video's playing in the background, why would I tell you it isn't if it is?
But how is it still playing? I don't hear it.
I hear Laura Ingraham in the background.
Thing.
I hear Laura Ingraham.
Do you have it on your show? Do you have it on yours?
No.
Are you sure? Because that's what happens. The video starts playing when you open it up. Close it all out.
No, Jim. I didn't. I still have it open. Okay. I think it's finished. I don't hear it anymore. I haven't closed it out. I'm looking at the article.
All right. So sorry. Here we go. Here is 4 lies. Bidenomics suggests tax increases on only those making more than $400,000. Spoiler alert, middle class, you'll still feel it in your wallet. Surely the fact that 40% of all Americans pay no federal income taxes can't be fair. You heard me right, folks. 40% of all Americans pay no federal because they don't work or they don't make enough.
Oh, that's true. Right.
But it's interesting to hear an attack on corporations in America when the president says that corporate tax should go from 21 to 28%.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 30% increase. And the minimum corporate tax should be increased from 15 to 21%. That is a 40% increase. Now, I want you to keep that in mind. You're going to now raise the increase on these organizations. You're going to look at 28%. That's not a big deal. That is 30% that they're going to have to pay more in taxes, right? Doesn't everyone realize already that corporations have an insatiable appetite for profits? They need to make money. And if you raise corporate taxes by 30 or 40%, it will end in 2 bad outcomes for the middle class. There's actually 3. One, prices continue to soar against the ever-shrinking wallets of Americans.
Yeah.
Two, corporations cut expenses, which means middle-class Americans lose more of their jobs and unemployment shoots above 5%. Three, corporations let the publicly traded stocks take a nosedive on Wall Street, which that's not going to happen.
Yep.
So anyway, so that's the first one. Second one, Bidenomics talks about excellent wage growth, just not after tax wage growth. That's the big disconnect across America. Talk to Americans the next time you check out a Whole Foods or grab a burger at BurgerFi or at Five Guys. This is a complete disconnect between the way Americans feel right now and the rhetoric that comes out of the White House. Middle-class Americans just simply can't keep up with the cost of eating out at fast food restaurants, casual fare restaurants, or just buying day-to-day groceries. Wages, real wages, can't keep pace with the day-to-day inflation no matter what the numbers say, especially after taxes. Okay? So in December of 2023, wage growth was reported to be up 4.3%. At a 25% federal and state income tax rate, as an example, you would keep 75% or real wages of 3.22%. At that time, inflation was 3.4%.
Jesus.
You were losing money. So this is why it feels, folks, if you're wondering why it feels a little different when they're telling you this, it's because after taxes, most folks are simply treading water or going backwards. And that's what's happening.
Correct.
So Bidenomics suggests unemployment is at an all-time low. It's easy when printing money is at an all-time high. Higher unemployment is coming. The M1 money supply is a measure of the most liquid assets in the U.S. money supply, including cash, checking accounts, traveler checks, etc. In April of 2020, the M1 figure stood at $4.79 trillion. At the end of 2023, the M1 figure stood at slightly over $18 trillion. Jesus. Why? We printed lots and lots and lots of money.
Sure
When
have.
money is injected into the economy at low cost, businesses can use these dollars to expand and most notably hire more jobs. However, if you look at the recent trends in states like California, where unemployment is 5.1, Nevada 5.3, the recent jobs report showing unemployment at 3.9% is the beginning of the curve in his mind, in his view, moving towards 5% unemployment throughout the country. Whose jobs are at most risk? Middle class.
Of course.
Bidenomics warns, pay your fair share. If your taxes don't go up middle class, your deductions might go down. Biden put forward a billionaires tax that would set a minimum 25% tax for the nation's 1,000 billionaires, generating an estimated $500 billion in revenue over the next 10 years. All of it can go to Ukraine. Anyway, first, it isn't just on billionaires. It's on those Americans with a wealth of more than $100 million. Second, the calculations arrived at by including unrealized gains in the income calculations of the 400 richest families in the U.S. This means that tax could come on stock, real estate, business ownership, whatever. Biden made it sound like the standard rate billionaires pays today is 8.2%. Remember, he said that.
Yeah, you said that.
According to the IRS data in 2019, the average tax rate for the top 1% of taxpayers was 25.6%. By the way, we don't talk about their other taxes. We only talk. We only want to talk about that, right?
All the real estate taxes.
Now, remember this: when Tax Cuts and Jobs Act bill was put into place in 2017, that's Trump's bill that lowered tax. The standard deduction will go backwards. If no legislation is put in place at the end of 2025, if it does, it will mostly affect the middle class and your taxes will go up.
Yep.
Okay, so folks, just I know most people that listen to this show know what we're talking about, but dang it, just
it's crazy.
Is there something going on in the background?
Well, no, why?
Okay. So anyway,
why
folks,
am I disappearing or something? Or?
No, just keep in mind that when we sit there and say, whenever a Democrat opens his mouth, don't believe anything that comes out of it. I mean, just don't.
Agreed.
Because this is going to be bad.
And the consumer price rose in February too. So I mean, listen, it's terrible. Housing's gone up again. Rent has gone up again. They state. Your food prices are going up again. I mean, like, this is Democrat policies. This is exactly what they want. Who are we
Yep.
shitting anymore?
Yeah,
It's
this is
exactly what they want.
Yep.
So it's comes as no surprise.
And
Jim,
folks
I'm
in the
gonna
middle class, you
go
heard
on.
what I said. 40% of the population pays no taxes at all. If you're
insane
going
to
to
me.
get mad at anything,
Mhm.
get mad at that.
Yeah.
Because if it's a
Yeah.
fair share, come on. We're going to pick on these.
Well, that's why a
By the
fair
way-
tax would be the perfect answer to all of this.
Exactly.
That's why a fair tax, but they'll never do it.
No,
You can't have a
because-
fair
yeah.
tax and have government corruption involved.
And
can
again,
you?
we need to keep in mind one thing. When billionaires, they always seem to have their money.
Yeah, no matter what.
So
Yeah, they're
you
always,
may try
I
to
haven't
raise
seen too many
taxes on them.
billionaires standing at the corner peddling, flowers for money, or I just setting up homeless encampments.
The-
There's
Some
no
of the
billionaires row with tents on it. So
You love your Apple phone, guys?
Mhm. Yep.
Raise taxes to the billionaires who own that company.
Yeah.
See how much your phone costs.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway.
You'll be back to the Motorola Razor or whatever the frickin' old days were.
Mhm.
You're right. You're not wrong, Jim. Thank you for reporting on that. It's we feel this thing we're like everybody else. We grocery shop every week. I'm pretty sure billionaires probably have somebody doing that for them or don't care. Or they just eat anywhere without any, they just don't feel it in their wallets. But it's every week's getting worse and worse and worse. Or at least, what I used to buy for 150 now takes me 300. I mean, it's damn near almost doubled.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
ridiculous. The little shit you get for that.
Yep.
Jim, what do you? A transgender activist says your kids have a right to carve up their bodies. Now, not that this matters or doesn't, but if you pay attention to the transgender debate, it's been obvious for a while now that the trans movement is interested in children. The specter of state lawmakers or even parents hindering or discouraging children from transitioning seems to haunt trans activists who view recent political efforts to ban so-called gender-affirming care in some states as the worst sort of tyranny. And it's true. They go crazy over this when they ban that shit. Children, in their view, have a right to transition, and any obstacle placed in their way, even by parents, is a gross injustice crying out for redress. Up until recently, this argument was simmering just below the surface of the transgender discourse in America. It was the subtext for the first bathroom debate. I think we remember, then of the debate over girls' sports, then of the debate over the role teachers in public schools are playing in transition or transing kids socially without informing parents, and finally of state laws restricting transgender surgeries, puberty blockers, and other treatments for minors. So that's exactly how it went: bathroom, sports, teachers in public schools, and then state laws. That's kind of how it went, right?
Mhm.
In each case, the unstated argument was that minors who believe they are trans should be allowed to transition socially and medically, and no one, not even their parents, should have the right to stop them. Now that argument is out in the open, declared in bold black letters against a blood red field on the latest cover of New York Magazine: Freedom of Sex, the moral case for letting trans kids change their bodies. So that's right up there for everyone now to read in New York Magazine. The author of the piece is a man named Andrea Long Chu, the magazine's Pulitzer Prize winning literary critic and self-identified lesbian trans woman. Again, I don't know what I get your peanuts here, folks. You won't
Gynosexual.
know the players without a program. I don't know.
Gynosexual.
Oh yeah, gynosexual, who by his own admission was persuaded of this particularly gender identity after becoming addicted to pornography, specifically to something called sissy porn, Jim, which you've told me about before, which encourages what?
Again.
Yeah.
Addiction to porn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's again,
always something. It is a mental.
There's always something.
It is
There's
something
a mental
mental.
aspect to it. Mhm. Yeah.
Anyway,
Google sissy porn real quick for me, which
No.
encourages men to feminize and sexually humiliate themselves. You can do that
Well,
by
I did-
tucking.
I would know. I
Hmm?
do that every time I'm intimate with my wife.
Sexually humiliate yourself. But who cares, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's like Chu has probably done more than anyone else in recent years to mainstream transgenderism, mostly through his. I love this article.
Mhm.
Let me go back up. Who wrote it? John Daniel Davidson wrote this. He doesn't play the game by calling
Nope.
him her. So he's who better? Where did I leave off now? Chu has probably done more than anyone else in recent years to mainstream genderism, mostly through his 2019 book Females. That was the title of it,
Mhm.
which chronicles his dark obsession with sissy porn. I won't quote it here, but suffice it to say, it makes for unpleasant reading, even in small excerpts. To give you a sense of this person, he was aptly described by Peachy Keenan on Twitter this week as, quote, a radical trans activist who is an obese man who now calls himself a lesbian and has a neo vagina. Oh, what better spokesperson then for the idea that children should be allowed to undergo an array of surgical procedures and drug therapies, even against their parents' wishes or without their knowledge? Chu's argument relies on holding up bizarre anecdotes and medical anomalies as normative and quoting radical gender theorists from the 1970s. The essay itself is weighed down with the intentionally opaque academic jargon of gender studies, which makes reading it an unhappy chore. So I'll save you the trouble. His main point is that when we need to jettison the idea that youth transgenderism is something that can be diagnosed by medical experts, that it requires one to meet any sort of criteria, and that it even has a cause, it is simply a fact of modern life that we must all accept. That's the synopsis of that. Quote, we will never be able to defend the rights of transgender kids until we understand them purely on their own terms as full members of society who would like to change their sex, he writes. We must be prepared to defend that idea that in principle everyone should have access to sex changing medical care regardless of age, gender identity, social environment, or psychiatric history. This goes on, and it is well written, but in the spirit of time, we get the idea. So we've said this for a long time. We said that these freaks of nature, and I will call them what they are.
Yep.
They're freaks of nature, as President Trump would say, or he didn't, but these people are mentally disturbed.
Yes.
And now they're putting it out there. We knew they're coming for the children. We've known this for a long time.
Yep.
Groups from Moms for Liberty, January Littlejohn. These people have warned us, right? And we know it. We know it's coming. Those listening here even know that. But here it is in big articles. And they're talking about it out loud now. That yes, let's mutilate the children. They have to be mutilated. They must be mutilated. That we aren't sympathetic unless we mutilate them. You know? That's the whole premise for all this. And again, coming after your children, folks. That's the idea.
And you and I have
They're
always
coming
said,
after your children.
if you psychotic people want to do this as an adult, go ahead. Leave the children alone. Just stop
We've
it.
always said that you guys are bizarre, and if you want to do it, there's no
but
rational
don't make
explanation
me
for why.
Don't make me follow your disillusions. There's
Make me or tell me how evil I am because I don't want it done on minors. You know? It's just that's what it is.
And I do
Jim,
have
we'll move on.
I have a quick thing I have to add to the gynosexual
Please.
thing. I forgot one section. If a guy
that's
is
probably
attracted
important.
to a trans woman,
then
you're gay. So it's either heterosexual, gay, or bisexual.
Or lesbian. Yeah.
Boom. Well, gay.
Or bisexual.
Boom.
Yeah. See, well, I don't know. Gay and lesbian, it's in the alphabet.
Okay,
People.
sorry. Gay
so
and
what's the
lesbian,
difference?
Bisexual,
I don't know.
gay, lesbian,
Which is
heterosexual.
fine if you are.
So,
but don't
guys,
make up a new
I can
term
take,
for it.
Other than
Enough.
asexual, because asexuals, you're not attracted to anybody. Apparently, that's what that means. But anyway, I can take every sexual that you throw at me, and I can say it's either gay, heterosexual,
or bi.
Yeah,
it's one of the three. That's all.
Yeah. Done.
You're a guy up there. Jim. West Point revises their mission statement. I've been waiting to hear this.
This is very.
Do you have that story up, or do I need to talk for
up.
20 minutes?
It's up.
Okay.
It's up.
Go ahead.
This is. This is very disturbing. Okay.
Yeah.
The U.S. Military Academy no longer will use the motto, and everybody knows this motto: duty, honor, country. Everyone who goes into that, duty, honor, country. Why would we change duty, honor, country?
Why?
Well,
what are they not using there?
Which is highlighted in a famous speech by General Douglas MacArthur in 1962, will be replaced by a line that includes the words Army values.
I'm sorry. It's replacing what? What? It's replacing the whole term? Duty, honor, country?
Most of the time, you and I, a military person, would get our ass kicked if we had a one-on-one fight. I have a feeling another 4 to 5 years, we will be able to kick every single one of those people coming out of West Point because, folks, West Point has gone woke.
Oh,
they have gone woke. Of all the areas you and I have talked about,
the Citadel next
ever go woke is military. Leave the military,
but they keep doing it. They keep doing it. They keep doing it. Military keeps doing it.
Who would have thought the Jamie Clark character would be
the norm in MASH would be the norm for you youngsters out there. Take a look at MASH on TV land.
What was his name in MASH?
It was Corporal Klinger. That's what it was. He was wearing a dress to try to get out of service. But no, that would absolutely get you top-notch general and or White House appointed. You know,
our responsibility to produce leaders. Our responsibility to produce leaders to fight and win our nation's wars requires us to assess ourselves regularly.
Stop it.
Thus, over the past year and a half, working with leaders from across West Point and external stakeholders, we reviewed our mission, vision, and strategy to serve this purpose. Gilland explained that the new mission statement binds the Academy to the Army. As a result of the assessment, we recommend the following mission statement to our senior Army leadership: to build, educate, train, and inspire the Corps of Cadets to be commissioned leaders of character committed to the Army's values and ready for a lifetime service to the Army and the nation. It went from duty, honor, and country to build,
paragraph.
Educate, train, inspire a Corps of Cadets to be commissioned leaders of character committed to the Army values and ready for. Folks, that was in duty, honor, country. That was there. Why change it? Anyway,
because the Army values have changed, apparently. Jim.
Yeah, the general added Army values include duty, honor, and country. It is reflected in loyalty, belonging, true faith. Folks, this is what our military leaders are doing, changing the motto of the West Point. The world's falling apart, if you haven't noticed. I don't know. We're being invaded by illegals, not just from Mexico, but from all over the world.
All over the world.
And we are being attacked everywhere from China, who this idiot that you just talked about is feeding right into China's hands, because the more people that are transsexual and do all this stuff to themselves, our population goes down.
Correct.
So they don't give a shit. This is what China wants to happen, and we are giving it to them 100%. We're doing.
Jim,
we're
are you claiming? Are you claiming that trans women can't get pregnant? Is that what you're claiming here on this show?
Yeah.
Okay, just clarifying.
I'm not claiming. I'm saying.
Okay, just making sure we're on the same page. Yes, you're not wrong.
A woman can get pregnant. So a woman who thinks she's a man is still a woman and can still get pregnant unless they do that surgery we talked about.
Well,
but they're still a woman. They just don't have the stuff.
Jim, it's all part of the sissy porn.
Yep.
It's a sissy porn generation. That's what I'm now going to call them. They're not Gen X or Gen. Who? What are they now? Gen Z. What are they?
I have
What are these?
Gen Z. I think
What are they?
I
don't have no idea. I can't. Who cares?
All
I
I
don't
know
keep
is
up with it.
we're
They're the
effed when we
sissy
get
born
older.
generation.
We're effed when we get older, man.
Oh, jeez. With any luck, we won't, Jim.
Our military is going to be made up a whole bunch of men wearing dresses, or women wearing army uniforms.
Stop or I'll untuck.
And while we could win the war because this China's laughing at them running across,
shoot
laugh
at the
and then
sight
we
of their
kill 'em.
fake white penises is what the
And
new
then wait
slogan
till you
will
see
be.
our pink planes.
Are
Rainbow
you saying
colors.
pink is gender? You think
Rainbow colors.
There. Well, rainbow. Now listen. Now you're starting to bash like the whole community. We're just trying to stick to the.
I'm sorry. It's true. We are not bashing. No, it's trans. But
we are not. It's the trans.
I don't even know what
weirdos.
flag they are.
All
I know is when we were at. I will say this though about when we were in Philadelphia, and we saw all these different flags. Remember?
Yeah,
and there was a group of us that didn't know what one flag was.
Correct.
Man, boy, love.
Man, boy. That's what it was, wasn't it? It was pedophiles. That's right. Yep.
LGBTQ community is that. Is
Are they behind that?
Your plus?
Do they support that?
Is that one of the pluses?
Do we have listeners who are homosexual? Do you mind? So then do you mind commenting or calling or emailing or doing whatever to let us know how you feel about this whole transgender movement on there? Are we off base, Jim?
And this is why Gays Against Groomers is a great organization with all they are is they're homosexuals who think this is crazy.
This is crazy.
Okay,
like you insane. And I think, like we all are listening here think is crazy.
Yep.
Yes. Do we have any transgenders listening? That's a good question, Jim. Maybe we can,
And look, and again, you're right.
I mean, we talked to Michelle who detransitioned.
Yeah.
So we know that side of it. That's for sure.
I'm not trying to insult the LGBTQ community.
Not at all.
Most of them. Okay. I'm not bashing it. I'm just, look, when you have idiots like this, the trans people that put forth and want to abuse children.
Yeah.
And then you have other people within your group using that T as your portion. I'm sorry, this is the backlash some of you get. So Gays Against Groomers, great organization. We met the head of Gays Against Groomers, and I don't know, folks.
Didn't come on our show.
No,
she didn't come on our show.
Nope.
That doesn't mean we're against them. That just meant that was just an added statement.
Yep.
Per her saying and her request.
So way to go, West Point.
Follow through. Former top aide, Biden aide, confirms reports of White House officials' alleged bullying and sexual harassment of staffers.
That's not possible.
Oh boy, this is probably gonna sound bad.
Were they sniffing the hair?
Here we go.
Were they sniffing hair?
Well, here we go. So this really is not going to sound good based on what we just talked about. The reported actions of a top White House official that included allegations of longtime bullying and verbal sexual harassment of staffers are accurate, a former top Biden aide told Fox News Digital. On Tuesday, the New York Post reported that First Lady Jill Biden's top aide, Anthony Bernal, who is openly gay, has a history of questionable work conduct, but is deemed untouchable because she views him as her, quote, work husband. This whole Biden administration sounds like the whole House of Cards show, if anybody watched that. Does it not? Anyways, if you haven't, you got to watch it. Bernal, now it does. Now it does. Bernal, according to the report, it does now, right? Does that make if you watch the show, you know how this makes sense. Bernal, according to the report, has been known to speculate on the penis size of staffers, which you've asked me mine before, Jim, and I don't appreciate it. That's a form of bullying.
I know. That's his. I'm sorry. You want to file with our human resource department?
I'm taking it up with the HR department. In a move one of the publication sources believed was to make people uncomfortable and gain the upper hand. Is that what your plan is, Dale or Jim? You're asking me, Dale, what's your penis size? Because you want to gain.
If somebody asked me what my penis size was, I was going to say 12 inches and just leave it at that.
Well, I was going to say what you want. Length or
Honestly.
width? I mean, let's be specific. We're talking
Well,
specifics.
the width would be the size of a pop can.
Would it?
That's
And you're doing a podcast. You've got a 12-inch width pop can, and you're doing a podcast with me. You think that's where you'd be right now? Right now, you'd be doing there.
Width.
No, I said 12-inch length width of
Yeah.
a pop can is exactly what I said. You still think you'd be doing a podcast with me instead of perhaps another industry.
I'd be walking around naked showing that sucker off.
You could at the gay pride parades. It lines up with everything I experienced working there, the former top aide who wished to remain anonymous told Fox News Digital. I'm surprised it has taken this long for so many staffers to speak out, they said. I wouldn't be shocked if this empowered current and past staff to move forward. I wouldn't be shocked if this empowered current. Yep, I read it right. Yeah. According to the Post report, 2 individuals said Burnell shared his theory that a person's thumb size correlates with their penis size.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Every man listening just looked at their thumbs.
I did.
It better not. What are we talking about? Why aren't we just putting thumbs on trans women?
Well, this is
Jim, again, Jesus God, every time you move the microphone. Jim's off air. He's got to move his microphone. He knows it causes him to leave. Now that causes me editing issues, but he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. You could have used anything, Jim, but you used your microphone, which now cuts off because of some of your funky, wonky connections. I'm there. You can't hear me. Oh my God, Jim's arms roaring. We'll continue on a new track. Oh my God, Jim. You still can't hear me, can you? I'm going to text him. Son of a bitch. Stay there, stupid. If you can hear me, God, I want to kill you. I want to kill you. I literally feel like killing you. This is being recorded, and I'm going to keep it in the show because this just goes to show you. Log off and then log back on. So if you're seeing him videotaping, I don't know, you might be. This whole thing might be recorded. He's about to look at his Apple Watch, and then he's going to log off, and he's going to disappear, and then he's going to come back on. I'm doing a play-by-play. So there he goes. So now you're just seeing me, folks. This is Professionalism 101. Why can't we get a sponsor? How come we're not syndicated? I don't know. It's just beyond me. Can't figure it out. And then hopefully Jim will come back on, but apparently Jim is not coming back on. He's trying. I should get a text here any minute from him. Maybe this is him.
Are you there?
I can hear you. Can't see you.
What?
Can you see me now? Now I can see you. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Jim,
I'm really sorry.
That literally was the worst possible. I'm done. I'm not even finishing the story. But I did go on a nice little rant while you were gone. You'll have to watch the show, Jim.
I could have.
You'll have to watch the show.
Edit it out.
Well, I am not editing it out. Not a minute am I spending my good hard time editing your bullshit. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I'm sorry.
Somehow, in between now and the next time we record, can you figure out why if you breathe on your microphone, it freaking goes away?
That's what
kind of connections do you have there? Did you get them from Walmart or something? Or
I don't know why it all of a sudden does that. I apologize.
And now your sound sounds like shit. So now I got to put on echo. You're going to go away for a minute. Your whole sound sounds like crap now because you've been messing with it. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a tin can because you messed with all your volumes and all the other crap while you were picking up your microphone.
It's not on here.
Yeah, so go to the bottom, click mic, and then click the one that you want it on.
It's not coming up. It's not coming up. That's the problem. It's not.
All right, folks, listen, like, follow, and share on Rumble. You just sit there, Jim. No, you don't have to say a word anymore. Follow our good friends at Grit Gear, please. You go to gritgearapparel.com. please go over to the Warrior Shield Foundation and support them and sign up for the Warrior Fest, Warrior Weekend in September of this year down in Orlando, Florida. And don't forget about our friends at Freedom Ring Apparel. Jim's just going to sit there. I'm going to say goodbye. Folks, we will see you soon. Maybe both of us will be here. Maybe we won't. We'll talk to you later. See you. Bye.
You've been listening to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast with Dale and Jim. Remember, you can watch on YouTube and Rumble and listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you like what you hear, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. We really appreciate it, and it helps others find us when searching for podcasts. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and TikTok. Just search for Two Guys, One Coup. That's the number 2, guys, and the number 1, Coup, C-O-U-P. Thanks again for listening to the Two Guys, One Coup podcast, and God bless the United States of America.